The counterfeit Christ. The interrogation room had no shadows. That was the first thing the devil hated about it. Light poured from no visible source, exposing everything without heat or cruelty. Chains circled his wrists, though they seemed almost unnecessary. Across the iron table sat an angel dressed in plain white, his face calm and unreadable. The angel opened a folder.
Let us begin with the resurrection.
Must we?
You had arranged the betrayal, stirred the crowds, and entered the calculations of rulers. You watched him suffer. You watched him die. You believed you had won.
For 3 days, yes.
And then, the devil leaned back, his chains scraped against the floor.
What did you understand at that moment?
That death could not hold him. That violence could not silence him. That shame could not stain him. Everything we used against him became part of his victory.
So you abandoned the war.
The devil smiled.
I changed the battlefield.
Explain.
I could not defeat love. That was the problem. True love has no handle. You cannot manipulate someone who wants nothing for himself. You cannot bribe someone who has already given everything away. You cannot terrify someone who has walked through death and returned carrying the keys.
So what did you do?
I counterfeited it. The angel's eyes narrowed.
You created another Jesus.
Not another Jesus entirely. That would have been too obvious. A counterfeit must resemble the original closely enough to circulate. We kept his name, his cross, his scriptures, his titles. We kept the songs and the sermons. We merely altered his face.
How?
We made him less like Jesus.
Be specific.
We persuaded people that the one who welcomed sinners was secretly disgusted by them. That the one who forgave his enemies was eager to torture his enemies. That the one who washed feet demanded to be flattered. That the one who healed without charge withheld mercy until the correct payment, prayer, doctrine, or ritual had been supplied.
Portrayed God as unchristlike.
Precisely.
Yet Christ said, "Whoever has seen me has seen the Father."
An inconvenient sentence. We worked hard to bury it beneath systems.
Systems.
Explanations so complicated that ordinary people would forget the man from Nazareth standing at the center of them. We taught them to interpret Jesus through their image of God rather than interpret God through Jesus.
What image did you give them?
A distant sovereign. Cold, untouchable, more concerned with control than compassion. A God whose power meant the ability to do whatever he wished, rather than the freedom to love without limit.
Who made divine love appear conditional?
Sometimes. At other times, arbitrary. Arbitrary love is even more useful. If people believe God chooses some and rejects others for reasons hidden within himself, they will call terror, mystery, and despair, humility.
You wanted them afraid of God.
Better than that. I wanted them afraid for God. I wanted them defending him against the very people he came to save. Once people believe cruelty protects holiness, they will commit atrocities with clean consciences.
And call it righteousness.
Naturally.
The angel turned a page in the folder.
Your strategy could not prevent people from encountering the real Christ.
That was unavoidable.
You knew some would see through the counterfeit.
Of course. Some would read the stories too carefully. They would notice him touching lepers, eating with outcasts, defending the condemned, and forgiving his murderers. Some would hear his voice beneath all our noise.
Yet you continued.
Losing some was a sacrifice we had to make. We never needed to deceive everyone. Confusion alone would discourage many.
Explain that calculation.
If one preacher says God loves everyone, another says God loves only the chosen, and another says God loves everyone but will sustain most of them in torment forever, what does the listener hear?
Contradiction.
Exactly. And contradiction produces exhaustion. Exhaustion produces indifference. Many would not reject Jesus because they hated him. They would walk away because they could no longer tell which Jesus was real.
So confusion was itself a weapon.
One of our finest. A clear lie can be resisted. 1,000 competing distortions produce fog. People lose heart in fog.
And John Calvin?
At the name, the devil's smile widened.
John Calvin. Bless that man, he helped us incalculably.
You speak as though he served you knowingly.
The most useful servants rarely do. Intentions are overrated. Consequences are what matter.
What did you find useful in his theology?
Its architecture, its cold magnificence, everything ordered, everything decreed, everything fitted into a system. Before a child's first cry, his destination already fixed, every act folded into an eternal plan, every tragedy assigned its place, every life given the appearance of movement while the conclusion had already been written.
Calvin spoke often of grace.
Yes, but grace restricted becomes something else. If a drowning man is rescued while the rescuer deliberately passes 1,000 others, the rescued man may call it mercy. The drowning call it abandonment.
You used predestination to strip meaning from life.
We tried. Choice without genuine possibility is theater. Prayer for what has been immutably decreed becomes performance. Love commanded by irresistible power begins to resemble submission rather than relationship.
Yet many Calvinists have loved Christ sincerely, served the poor, and shown mercy.
The devil's expression tightened.
I told you, we lost some.
Perhaps more than some.
Do not be sentimental.
I am being accurate. You could exploit a system, but you could not prevent the Spirit from producing love within those who held it.
No system is perfect.
Not even yours. The devil looked away. Your plan depended upon making Christians unlike Christ.
Yes.
You persuaded them that correct doctrine mattered more than transformed character.
Yes.
That defending God excused contempt for their neighbors.
Yes.
That power was proof of divine favor.
Yes.
That certainty was faith.
Yes.
That fear was reverence.
Yes.
That exclusion was holiness.
Yes.
The word echoed through the room. The angel closed the folder. And yet you failed.
The devil's eyes flashed. Look at the world and tell me I failed.
I have looked.
Then you have seen churches that resemble courts, preachers who resemble kings, and believers more eager to condemn than to heal. You have seen people use the cross as a banner beneath which they seek power. You have seen them make Christ unrecognizable.
I have also seen the hungry fed in his name.
The devil said nothing.
I have seen enemies forgive one another.
Silence.
I have seen the rejected welcomed, the grieving comforted, and the guilty restored. I have seen people surrender power rather than wound their neighbors. I have seen saints choose love when hatred would have been easier.
Exceptions.
Seeds.
The devil shifted in his chains.
That was always your mistake. You believed love had to dominate in order to win. But love does not conquer as you conquer. It enters quietly, it kneels, it serves, it dies, and then it rises.
People still prefer my counterfeit.
For a time.
They prefer a Christ who blesses their tribe and curses their enemies.
Until they meet the Christ who blesses his enemies.
They prefer a God who validates their fear.
Until perfect love casts out fear.
They prefer certainty.
Until truth calls them by name.
The devil leaned forward, chains drawn tight.
And what happens when they discover that the God they feared was only a reflection?
The angel stood.
Then the counterfeit burns away.
And what remains?
The light in the room seemed to deepen, not brighter, but warmer.
Jesus.
For the first time, the devil had no answer.